Ah! My friend.
Wow.
Why would you lift me up like that?
I was trying to kiss you.
You kiss me, you lift me up.
Yeah.
You kiss me, you lift me up.
No,
Who? Me and you, who's supposed to lift each other? My friend, just move out, man. Nonsense.
Wait, let me kiss you. I want to kiss you.
Don't you do it again.
No, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I just want to kiss you.
Okay. Ah!
Disconnect.
All right. What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? This is Chaos Reign After Dark edition. Welcome to another edition here on the Chaos Reign channel. As I am Chaos Reign, the one and only. Make sure you hit the like button, share the content, and I don't got my donation on the tab. I might put it later. We'll see. Contribute to the channel. Also, and let me see. Like always, please follow me on Twitter at Chaos Reign 7. Anybody that's listening, can you hear me good? Is my volume good? Because I'm simulcast. I'm looking at things, so I'm looking at both devices. 1 second, let me check everything's good on one of my end. Hold on. Let's see what's going on here. I might do like the roll call a little bit. This is not. All right, hold on, guys. I hope to get some participation at this time. Yeah, as you know, I do streams. I might start set a schedule on when I'm gonna do my streams moving forward as we wind down. I'm still trying to figure out what would be the right appropriate time to do them during my little schedule, because I don't stream like that, guys. As you know, I don't stream every day. But when I do stream, I do make it count. Trust me on this. I make it count. So, as I'm checking, look like all notifications are slowly being sent. Hold on. Let's see. And one other thing. If you're not following my Discord service, the Discord service is on the About section of the Chaos Reign channel. And also add me and follow me and be a friend on Facebook. Eric Ray on Facebook. I do conversations on Facebook. Not much, because as you know, that's still a growing platform, or trying to grow my following on Facebook. So like always, don't be hesitant. Add me as a friend on Facebook. I do communicate on there, so I don't bite. Let me see what's going on here. I'm just looking at my. Nope, that's not good. All right. Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm just checking one last thing, because I want to get this out the way now. Oh, what's good, Queens of Virtue? Thank you. Appreciate it. Let me put that there since you posted already. Appreciate that. And as I go into my Discord side of things, hope you guys like the music. A little sample music. Eventually, I'm probably gonna have like an actual theme song for the Chaos Reign channel. It's well needed, personally. Oh, it is definitely needed. Okay. So let me go over to my. I got so many things running up here now. Let me refresh my page. All right, good. So now, wait for my. Okay, there loads up. Good. I'm doing this on a different device because I think I'm having hardware problems, and I might have to do something on my computer, possibly, maybe. But like always, and here's another quick game, free game for y'all. If you're going to do any form of live streaming or any other form of work, I highly advise, for those that will listen to this, that you should have more than one electronic device. Meaning, if you're going to be streaming, I highly, and this is my recommendation, don't take my word for it, it will be better if you stream on a laptop computer, preferably a gaming laptop. It is very powerful. It packs a punch, and you get everything done, including doing your little video edits, etc. And always, this, if you want to know the specs and what to look for, please hit me up either on my Facebook, add me on Facebook, or hit my Discord service. I will give you more brief details. I'm not gonna tell you on here because Normally, people gonna have to start joining, and ask me questions offline for those things. It'd be better. Trust me on this. You will love it. You will not regret. Let me see. Who else? Keep it techie. Try. Oh, I forgot this group. All right. And hold on. Crew reality. And as you know, the Discord service, I have gotten a few people starting to join, not much, but some people have followed me now, starting to join Discord. I still want a little more people growing. It's not really a big Discord, but eventually I'm trying to grow it to a level where I could do things offline with y'all, a little bit, maybe ideals or etc. And we could chop it up offline Discord, besides other things, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna have a membership if I do meet the 2 requirements on YouTube. But right, like I said, this is still very much a slow channel. It grows as it needs to be. It'll grow at times and it will decline, and that's the nature of doing content. There's no give or take. Personally, if there was an actual playbook of how this thing works effectively, the way how I do it, and still get some results, not a big growth, but just growing steady enough where it's respectful, I could deal with that for now. But overall, as this channel tries to grow and keep growing to a level where I see the subscriber as a certain level, and maybe if it makes money, I might do some other things with the Chaos Marine channel. But like always, I'm saying, still pushing forward, keep putting on the content, and see where the chips may fall. All right, so let me put one more message and we should begin. And always share the stream. I'm not gonna be able to check. I will check some of the likes possibly, but All right, who else? Okay. Okay. I'm just looking at some things. All right. Oh wow, I see some things going around. Oh, this score is getting very weird. You know what I say? Thomas. Okay. Sailor train. All right. So all right. So to send the last link, we shall begin. And usually I do this just to give people some time. All right. That's good enough. So let me get to my mother. It's a lot of degeneracy going on. Okay. Look. Oh, I forgot. I had to share this on Twitter. As y'all know, did y'all know you can go live on Twitter now? Are y'all aware of this? If not, Twitter now, you could now do, I guess, go live from Twitter now. So for those that's not familiar with Twitter, I would highly advise get at Twitter. Oh, good. What's good, Real Aaron Collins? It's good to see you, brother. Good to see you. All right. All right. So let me post this on Twitter. Okay. All right. So let's begin. And make sure you hit the like stream, share the stream. Where's my thumbnail? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes. Remove this. All right. Let me find the thumbnail. As you know, the thumbnail. Hope y'all can see this. Yep. There you go. Hide this. Today's stream. Wakanda forever. Welcome. I mean, welcome loosely to the New World Order. NWO. Order. And why do I say entitled it the way it is? Well, that's simple. It's because this is a new era. And as y'all know, for everybody that have watched the movie and got a clear understanding of the subliminal message of Wakanda Forever, it is evident and it's known that this is more than just a propaganda. This is something that is going to lead to something much greater that has always, always has been revealed amongst us as Black folks, our relationships between us and other cultural or other racial groups. Now, if y'all aware of the comic books, and this is what I find with a lot of males, men actually, but you get the point. They still get in their fifis and feelings that this movie moved forward, continue on, and not only continue on, but continue including the death of the one Chadwick Boseman, who plays T'Challa of the original Black Panther. And let me make sure my audio's guys, tell me if my audio sounds good. Make sure press 1, let me know, indicate. T'Challa. As you know, T'Challa, the king of Wakanda, in regards dealing with the death and handling the death of the one and only Mr. Chaka, I don't know if that's his name, that happened back during the first movie that he was present in regards to Captain America Civil War that came out in, I believe, 2018, 2019. Let me Google it, see when that movie came out, because I forgot. Civil War. All right. Oh no. Actually, no, I was wrong. Captain America Civil War came out in May the 6th, 2016. And as you know, that same year, now roughly over 50 years ago, just around the eve of 50 years ago, the Black Panther, the movie itself, or the comic book itself, came around the mid 60s. So when they started to introduce the Black Panther itself, it was 50 years in the making, present. And if you didn't know the story that was going under or about, little insight about Black Panther, is that Wesley Snipes, that played Blade back in 1998 or in late 97 or early of 1998, he really wanted to play and create a superhero movie and wanted to use some of the comics to depict of what he wants to see as Black excellence, i.e. a Black superhero that Black people could look up to, look forward to. So he decided to bring forth using a character from the Marvel comics, the one they call Black Panther. Now, at the time that the people that were on the fence with comic book movies and really was not really making a lot of money at that time, as you know, Marvel was heavily under, and they were very much in the hole in regards to income movies that they spent, and a lot of loss they take on a lot of these crappy movies. Because let's be honest, movies you see back in the last 20 or close to 30 years were very much subpar. The only movies that really has some substance, if we want to go there, is DC. And as you know, with DC at that time, if y'all can recall, DC doesn't really require much money to put out their movies, because there's not really much visual aspects in a lot of their movies at that time. The only time you start seeing more visuals is when they start using other characters that need visual effects in regards to superpowers and powers. As you know, The Flash, a TV series back in the 90s, didn't really require much visual effects besides him going fast and all the stuff, which does cost a lot of money, but not much in regards to pulling off some of the visual effects. After that, if you look at a lot of the DC movies or DC TV shows, they're not really much visually astute with qualities until we get close to like around the TV shows. You're not really seeing much visuals until like late 2000s, early 2010s. And one of the few DC series that really started to merge and start to be popular was the CW, i.e., with the introduction of the one and only Green Arrow that came out 10 years ago. Now, I'm going to still go back to the subject at hand, but I want y'all to follow me here because I want to lead some people to some things. I want you to understand how the chaos thinks. That, well, a lot of these movies, these budget movies, DC still was keeping up until they start to really start losing money and start really having problems with the budgeting and the loss of revenue in regards to certain movies that they keep putting out constantly over and over again. Meaning superhero, they start putting out superhero now for the last 10 years. They put out a whole lot of Batman movies, but it gets redundant over time. I don't care if people say that Batman is still a popular character. Yeah, it's popular to a point where you keep making Batman movie after Batman movie after Batman movie. It gets dull and dumb. They're not using any other characters. Personally. And that's how I look at it. Let me make sure my audio is good. Okay, my audio is good. And knowing this, that it comes to a point that we look at DC now because they're now under new management and under a few directors or people that are now taking control of it. They're now creating what we call the DCU, aka DC Universe, which is going to now be in a position now with the now release and I would say probably the success of Black Adam. They're going to move in a more, I would say, masculine perspective. I could be wrong. And more rugged perspective in regards to how they do their movies moving forward to compete with Marvel. But we're not focused on DC. We're going to focus on Marvel because the point of this conversation is Wakanda. Forever. Now we look at after Black Panther was created in the first section of the DC Comics introduction of the Fantastic Four, particularly. And really, truly, if you think about it, if Chadwick did not die, I would be sure and doubt they would possibly might have start slowly introducing the Fantastic Four in this movie that we just watched. Now I could be wrong; they could still go forward with Namor, but it would be more interested if they start putting and bringing a few characters from Fantastic Four to start bringing back into the light the right way. Because usually what Marvel's doing is they're trying to really structure their characters to lead up to a much bigger role and a bigger fight with every movie. And eventually we'll bring out the Fantastic Four very soon. That's another story. But the point is this, he came out in that comic book was introduced during the Fantastic Four. Now, moving forward, after Civil War that came out in theaters 2016, the Black Panther comes out in his own solo movie in 2018 of February. And as you know, big success. Made roughly $2 billion worldwide total. And I think this movie now, as you see, Wakanda Forever, is slowly getting up there to reaching $1 billion. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits $1 billion by the next 2-3 weeks. Now, will it overshadow and make more money than the first one? I don't see it possible. But if it does, it will be because a lot of women went and watched and support this movie, particularly Black women, in my opinion. Wait, I see some comments. Let me read. Salute. Yes, it did. Aaron Collins. It's called DC Extended Universe. Okay, wonderful. And make sure you guys keep hitting the like button because, as you know, this is the nighttime edition. So now, moving forward, Chadwick died unexpectedly during the conclusion of Avengers Civil War, Avengers Endgame of 2019, and you know that's roughly now 3 years ago. And we look forward now to this movie with just the women ruling, running the kingdom, controlling Wakanda. It was always in the books, in the comics, that they were going to have women running Wakanda. It was in their comic books. I'm not sure why this is such a hard thing people to grasp and concept and understand. And it goes back to when I always, and I don't harp this, but I'm going to stress this, the importance of Black people, Black men especially. You need to start creating your own form of comics and controlling your own narratives. I've talked to one particular young dude that here in the East Coast area. I haven't talked to him since because he was creating his own comics and selling them. And I talked to him, and he has big plans, big goals, right? I see him doing things, doing big things. But like I said, there are young people now. There are Gen Zs right now, and probably the next, I would say millennial wise, that's gonna be out here now that seeing the importance of having their own image, controlling their own image. And the only way that's gonna happen is you gotta start creating your own comics. That means you're gonna have to draw and write again, Black men. You're going to take your thoughts, what you think, and your views and opinions of the world you see it, and put it through images. Because, like I said, one picture, not 10, not 20, not 30, but one image. It encompasses and it creates 1,000 image in the subconscious mind of young people and the hearts and minds of young people. So you have to take control of your image. So me going into that theater, watching this movie for the first time, it has the very much deep message. And it did what it expected to do. It's supposed to bring out the emotion out of you. It should bring out some empowerment in regards to women in a way. But it also tells a deep message of how we as people do not deal with loss properly and how we function properly once we lose one that's close to our hearts. We don't want to let go. We don't want to move on. And eventually, once we find out that once we don't get over loss, it burns and eats us inside of us. We try to cope with it by doing extra work, by doing these unnecessary things to occupy our time. But we know that there's something in us that once we lose a loved one, we don't really handle loss properly. And that's something we need to work on, do more. And I think there should be more circles. There should be more people that you could talk to close to if you're dealing with a loss of a loved one. That's something you as an adult, I don't care if you're 18 or older, you need to not only, I would say not figure it out, but to reach somebody that could sit there, have that conversation to really cope with the loss. I know time heals wounds, but having someone that you could trust to have the conversation and not only hold your hand, but to guide you through this properly, you will be stronger as a person, man or woman, and dealing with and coping with loss. And that was one of the few things that if you didn't take anything out the way, any takeaway of the movie, that's one thing that Shuri has never got over until the end. Now, for the deeper parts of the message of the film, one thing I do give credit to Ryan Coogler. He did not really emphasize the interracial aspect and try to push it much in this particular film. Now, a lot of people think that there should be some type of union, marriage, so that way no war breaks out between the two kingdoms, Wakanda and Takama, or Takamane, or Takaimian, I think that's what they call it. Takamian, the one in Atlantis at Namor or Namor runs and controls under the water and seas, which he also has vibranium as well. That was something that a lot of people were anticipating, hoping that was going to be in the film. But like a man that is pro-black, like Ryan Coogler, and some people could say he's pro-black woman. Who knows? We could say that. That honestly, he did not want that image to be in the subconscious mind of a lot of black folks that will watch that movie. No, we live in a very much fully integrated / assimilating society, and it's going to keep assimilating as long as we still operate and live in this first world nation, Western nation we call America. So he didn't put that element or push it much in this particular film. Now, a lot of people think that there was going to be some love scenes, kiss scenes between Shuri and Namor, but nah, you're not going to see none of that. Not under this black director's watch. And personally, Ryan Coogler has been being very neutral, directing a lot of his films to try to keep it in a more harmonious, balanced state. What's good information, man? Information, man. If you want me to drop the link, I could do it and have you come up. I'm gonna probably soon drop the link for those that want to give their take and opinions. Another thing, because he didn't put that element and push it, and I want people to understand and hear me good. Ryan Coogler will say anything, and let's be honest, he does love and respect black women. Let's be clear on this. But it's more than that. He also wants to hopefully push the narrative and push the success of this particular movie, which a lot of the people that he worked under, the people that how can you say that he directed, a lot of people that work with Ryan Coogler got a very much calm, respectful, and learning experience to the point that he was very humble and able to reach and get the best out of his actors. He really make them connect with each other to pull the best out of them. That's why this movie was so passionate and so deep, besides the fighting, but just the more deeper aspects of not only war, but love, in a way where it's not as much love, but it's more war, and try to cope and to deal with bigger roles. Wakanda, as you know, is a very much thriving nation that has the resource that the West now wants and is seeking to get, and they want to get by any means necessary. And one of the few subliminal messages that people not paying attention, this segments, and this will lead off as I'm going down this rabbit hole, or the deep as I can get, that this is going to segment to the NWO. And what I mean the New World Order. As you know, things like anything, like John Henry Clark said, that where black people are going to be in this so-called new order that's among us, which is already here already. It's not like it's coming, it's here already. You see them, they always put it in their books for the last 30, and I could say for the last 40 or 50 years. And normally it really starts when it starts to really turn was in the early 70s, personally. As you know, 20 years after the 70s, you hear him start talking about it more. It's not just uniting people, but it's more of a control of people and nations in regards to what we see globalization. We're in a global world we're in today. And a lot of people got really adapt and get the understanding of the times we're in now. That we live in a global market now. As you know, Wakanda, during the last first Black Panther movie, they had to bring in and submerge themselves into this global market they're in now, which they always been under the rug for years, for decades, for centuries. And because of doing that now, and the consequence of the action of T'Challa, if we want to be honest, that now the West wants everything, and it wants everything from Wakanda. Not just the resource, but everything. And people should always ask the question and ask the serious question: what are they willing to do to get everything? Should be asked. Should be the question every person should ask. How far are they going to willing to take it to get what they need, or get more than what they need? And really, there's no spoiler alert for the talking about this movie because last time I checked, a lot of people have watched the movie. I know certain males have said they're never gonna watch the movie. They're gonna go as far as bootleg it, which that's their business. But really, truly, there's the real deep message I want people to understand and hear me out. That Marvel always segment their movies so it ties into a bigger storyline, leading to the bigger fight. Now, as you know, the queen that ran Wakanda has to sit there, constantly go to the United Nations or the West, and constantly tell them personally if they continue doing what they're doing, it is considered as an act of war, which Wakanda has the resource necessary to really combat the West. Nor the West has superheroes under their belt. Oh, information, man. If you could share this, I would appreciate it. If you could share the stream, if you're still here, brother. So as you know, now that Namor and the people start to now protect their territory, their own vibranium, and their own little resource under the ocean, they had to go and confront Wakanda for the first time because Wakanda never know that these people exist, and they had to probably not only go outside Wakanda to find information about these people, but these same water creatures have the same capability, probably much stronger because they have the same herb, which is the leaf-shaped herb that grants them not only immortality, like they can live a little longer, but also able to live underwater. And yes, Namor is a mutant. As y'all know, the mutants are here now in the Marvel universe. They first came across and were first present during, I would say, not just the TV show that played Miss Marvel, but we could go as far as the Eternals, because the Eternals are the very first extraterrestrial beings that set foot on Earth, had children, and thus far created what we call mutants. And another thing, since the mutants are here, that means people should ask, how long will it take before the X-Men start to come? They're coming. Be patient. They're here. They're coming. A lot of things are coming. They're sending you the template and the environment that will lay the foundation of the X-Men. Once the X-Men do come, and let's be honest with the X-Men. If y'all not aware, the X-Men right now, they're in the infant stage right now. They're trying to set the playing field, especially how they're going to build up the X-Men. My opinion with the X-Men, how they want to really shape up the X-Men, they're going to probably change and make the X-Men different racial groups, multiracial, from what the word on the street is. And if I could find an article on this, is there an article? Let me see if I can find an article, because it was talked about this. Or actually, it might not be an article. I think it was a video, which I can't name right now. But the X-Men are here, and they're going to eventually be showing in films, cinematography, or theaters near you. So be on the lookout. But move forward, mutants are here. Namor's mutant. So now Namor brings himself and confronts the queen of Wakanda and the daughter of Wakanda and give them a warning, and not only a request, but demand that they find the person that knows how to find their location, i.e. the vibranium, with the machine that they stole from a teenager, an engineer a STEM teenager from MIT that she developed back when she was young to find rare objects, metals. Her name is Riri. Now, as you know, Riri, which she will have her own TV show, and will probably be in 2023 at best. Ironheart or Lionheart, whatever they want to call it. She is a genius, a tech genius that also has the abilities to create and make unique tech stuff, particularly making what we call the Iron Man suit, or we like to call the Lionheart suit, which is the same thing as Iron Man's suit. Only difference is she don't have the regular components or necessary things from disposable to create the same iron suit like Iron Man has, because Iron Man's suit now, as you know, has different forms. Some of them are nanotechnologies, even to the point where it's different material metals that could shape, mold, and do many things. And if you want to understand more about Iron Man, look at the animation. Besides the comic books, look at some of the old cartoons of Iron Man. You see the Iron Man suit has always been redesigned to do many things. So check it out. It gives more explanation. So she's like another offshoot of Tony Stark, but a woman version. And as you know, her life is in jeopardy because the water creatures, the Takamians, want her head because she is the tool that might possibly destroy their kingdom. So they did not demand, they request, actually they did not request, they demand the Wakandans to find her and give her to them so they could off with her head. And you know, like I said, the Wakandans, they're not in the business of giving people up to really execute. Last time I checked, especially in the films. I could be wrong. The comic books say otherwise. Yes, Wakanda forever, positive eyes. Excellent question. Let me pull this up right here. Wasn't Riri Williams actually a student or project of? Honestly, no. I think the creation of Riri Williams, and let me look up Ironheart since we're talking about her because I'm not familiar with Ironheart. Make sure you guys like the stream and share the stream. Ironheart. Okay, let's take a look, shall we? Oh, well, the comic book says otherwise. So let's look it up. Let's Wikipedia Ironheart. I'm gonna share my screen. And we'll go back to this. Let's take a look. Oh, wrong one. Sorry, guys. As y'all can tell, this is Ironheart. And let me lower this so y'all can see. Ironheart, Riri Williams, a fictional superhero character, appeared in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. The character was created in 2016. Get the date? What came out in 2016? Can y'all recall? Civil War. Captain America Civil War came out that year, 6 years ago. By Brian Michael Bentz and the artist Michael Ducato. Dominic Thorne portrays Williams in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. First appeared in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever 2022. Scheduled by Star Disney, seeing Ironheart will come out 2023. So they already got lined up for a TV series. And let me see. I'm just looking at her background. Her name is Dominique Theron. Okay. Riri Williams is created by the same characters as I read before in the Invincible Iron Man Volume 2, Episode 7. Written by these same people, she then made her first significant appearance 2 issues later. Williams later started in the 3rd volume of Invincible Iron Man, starring in the late 2016 under the codename Ironheart, using the armor designed by Stefano Casello, the artist of the new volume, fictional character bibliography. Riri Williams is a 15-year-old engineer student and the daughter of the late Riri Williams Sr. So his father's name Riri Williams. Imagine that. Yes. Well, that was the whole purpose of the movie. That was the whole purpose of the movie, Real Aaron Collins, to introduce her for the series. And really, it made sense to put her in Black Panther because it's the best way to introduce a new character, like always. Let's keep going. What else? I'm trying to find where it's. Following her father's death, Riri lives with her mother, Roni, and her parental auntie, Sharon, in Chicago. A certified super genius, she attends Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, on scholarship. Working alone, Riri designs a suit of armor similar to the Iron Man armor, using material stolen from campus. When campus security knocks at her door, she flees while wearing the suit. When Williams prevented 2 inmates from escaping the New Mexican State Penitentiary, her suit is damaged. Upon return to her mother's house, Riri continues to work and improve the suit. Much to the dismay of her auntie, Tony Stark hears of Riri's accomplishment and goes to meet her. During their meeting, Starks decide that he will endorse her decision to become a superhero. Now, post-Civil War II. Yes, her name's the same like her father. Ain't that something? And Civil War, appearing in her rescue armor following the 2016 Civil War II storyline, Pepper Potts confronts Riri Williams and Tony Stark, who has transferred his consciousness into a device becoming an AI. Let's look at that again. Tony Stark, who has transferred his consciousness into the device becoming an AI. Now, can you remember Spider-Man, when Spider-Man and Tony were close? What was the first thing that Tony gave after they know he died? A glasses, right? And in the glasses, it has most of all Tony's artificial intelligence. Y'all remember that? Okay. An attempt to explain the problems of being a superhero, they are then attacked by Techno Golem and her black hack or biohack ninjas. As Riri flees and Pepper fights them, Techno Golem tries to find out how Pepper knows Riri, which Techno Golem armor breaks, and what they call Tomin tries to attack Riri. Oh, sorry. Pepper used her rescue armor gauntlets and knocked Tomu out. When Sharon Carter formally meets Riri after the arrest of Tomu and the biohack ninjas, Pepper tells Riri that they will talk again. Pepper Potas, Mary Jane Watson Friday, the Tony Stark AI, and Stark's biological mother, Amanda Armstrong, are in the Hall of Armors with Riri when she demonstrates her knowledge of each of the Iron Man armors. When Amanda Strong offers to allow Riri to use Tony Stark's lab as her base of operations, Riri is hesitant, but Pepper encourages her. The next day at her home, Riri family is visiting by the head of MIT. She wanted Riri to continue working there, as it has gotten sloppy since she left, Riri would also be allowed to use the laboratories at the school after working in one of the labs. Riri asked that Tony Stark's AI to find something to blow off some steam. Tony Stark's AI located an armadillo during a crime spree, and Riri used the Ironheart armor to defeat Armadillo. She is then approached by the champion who offers her membership into their group. And then there's more stories: Secret Empire champions, Iron Man 2020, and the rest is history. So that's just that side of things. We're not going more detail that. Y'all get the point. But let's move forward. And let me see the comics before I continue on. Yep. What's good, D. Darrell? I didn't see you. All right. And make sure you guys hit the like button. Watch a little bit. Then, if y'all want to stay, that's cool. But keep. I would like the watch time to grow a little bit. So, keep your eyes on it. Stay tuned. Keep watching. Keep conversation in the chat room. What else? Is Dominic Throne slated to start an Ironheart in the series? Yes. Yes. I'm named after my dad and my mom's favorite singer. Hey, that's what's up. Positive Eye. That's what's up. My cousin is named after her dad as well. Same name, different spelling. Of course. And, it sometimes happens like that, People name each other. And like I said, donate to the channel, guys. Don't be hesitant. You want to contribute and donate to the Chaos Rain channel. I am what I am. I'm saying the content is what it is, but it always will be so sweet if y'all throw a little money here and there, Trying to get some things on this channel. All right, move forward. They able to capture not only Riri Williams, but also the Prince of Wakanda, Shuri. As you know, underwater, she meets Namor. Namor has conversation with her, etc., etc. The mother's pissed. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. The mother's pissed at the one soldier that let her only heir to the throne be taken by these water demons. And she has relinquished her of her duty because of her failure to protect the queen or the daughter's queen of Wakanda. Moving forward, as you know, one thing that Queen of Wakanda, forgot her name. Do y'all know the name of the Queen of Wakanda? T'Challa's mother. That she went and goes search out T'Challa's girlfriend for assistance to find her daughter. And doing so, it had to bring her back to do what she does best. And that's to conversate, network, and find people across the globe. Which, if I remember what's her name, let me find her name. 1 second. I got to find her name. Let me see if I can find her name. Wakanda Forever. All right, here it is. Lipton Nyong'o. If I could find, I don't know what they have. Oh, they have Chadwick Boseman because they have his image. Where is? Okay, Lupita Nyong'o plays as Nakia. So Nakia, as you know, is T'Challa's once girlfriend. And knowing that she went out to go do what she does best, find people, and was able to find the location of Shuri. So, as you know, as it winds down, and one thing I will say to people that did watch or didn't watch it, Namor wants to not only create an alliance with Wakanda, but he wants to take it at it and go at war with the surface dwellers. Because as you know, him as a Spanish mutant, saw the evil in man, particularly the European man, and he set forth to punish the European man to the point that he will vanquish and get rid of him by any means at all costs. But he never really go out in the surface world to conflict war because he's a man known that he has to conduct himself in peace, and not only peace, but he doesn't have the real numbers or the might to fight the surface dwellers, as it seems. So he looks and seeks assistance to Wakanda in this battle against the surface dwellers. But as you know, Shuri, like most women, or a good portion of women, are not going to go at war with the West or the surface dwellers like that, because Wakanda, their only concern is protecting Wakanda borders, nothing more, nothing less. So she get rescued by Nakia, Lupita Nyong'o, Nakia, that plays Nikita. And as they come back, Namor sets forth to make Wakanda and make an example of Wakanda, if I like to say so myself, and goes at it and starts a ruckus battle with Wakanda. And one of the few things that Namor does, he floods out the city of Wakanda, just like the comic books. He floods the city. Then he goes on a killing spree, trying to delete as much people as possible, including taking out the queen of Wakanda, which he's successfully done. And as you know, the death scene of Wakanda's queen was very powerful, to the point that the queen could have survived. But the reason why she has lost her life is she sacrificed her life saving the one brilliant genius engineer, Riri Williams, because the young 19-year-old woman could not swim. So she sacrificed her own life to save hers. Because when they found both of them on the floor and they tried to revive both of them, the queen did not make it. And the reason why she didn't make it, because as you know, as her age, as how old she is, something like that, she was not going to survive. If she didn't sacrifice herself, I think she would survive. But she know that, like any ruler or any woman, a caring, loving mother, she know the people were more important than her. So she made the greatest sacrifice. And as Shuri saw her own mother die, Namor looks at her with a dead stare at her face, tell her that you are now the queen of Wakanda. And because that you have a certain time period, because in the next day or two, he's going to go full so and take out Wakanda permanently. So that only fuels Shuri, because one, she lost her brother that she could not save, T'Challa, and now she comes back to the palace knowing she lost the one thing that she was able to somewhat cope of the loss to her brother was her mother. Lose her too is something that she could not bear. So, like any person that still has not coped with loss, anger fills her heart. Destruction fills her heart. Revenge fills her heart. So, like anything, when you have nothing to lose, you're going to willing to delete and get rid of anyone possible to cope and get revenge. And as y'all know, revenge is always sweet. As you know, don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. Revenge is always sweet. So, like any scientist, engineer Shuri is, she goes not to sit down and then, weep or mourn. She goes back to the thing that gives her comfort, which is her work. So she goes back in the lab and prepares to reincarnate the purple heart-shaped herb, of Wakanda with the flower, or they call the leaf essence that Namor gave her in that bracelet. So she went out and tried to recreate back the heart-shaped herb with her brother's DNA with a heart shape and the leaf herb to go out and try to recome it to create back the herb because she know the importance that it is time to resurrect the Black Panther. Yes, yes. And through countless hours, she was able to recreate Wakanda's heart-shaped herb, the one that gives you the intelligence, the heighten, the senses, the strength that dispose of the one that creates the one they call Black Panther. And then she sits back and takes on the heart-shaped herb for herself. Hold on. She takes on the herb herself. And doing so, and if y'all notice, a side note, anyone that takes the heart-shaped herb and goes through a metamorphosis, you are entering the spiritual realm of the ancestors. And what I mean by the ancestors, she goes into the spiritual realm to go forth to really confront the ones that were dear to her heart the most. And lo and behold, as she enters the spiritual realm that she says she does not believe, because last magic, there was mostly every person that wears the Black Panther armor is majority males. So as a woman for the first time taking it, her spiritual realm is something that really ties into her deepest desires. And that is revenge. 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 And who's the one that she sees forth in the spiritual realm? Killmonger. Michael B. Jordan. And Michael B. Jordan himself tells him that, do you have what it takes to be that person? Are you that bowdy? Are you that one to put in that work to really cut off heads? As much as she wants to resist her urge and her deeper desires of what she wants, she knows damn well she wants to rip Namor's head off. And Killmonger is not only enticing her, but staring her to do so. So that's what she experienced during the spiritual realm. Now, mind you, as a woman, you know, a lot of women nowadays will tell a lie what they see, like Shuri. And I get it. You know, I'm not sure it's in female nature, but it is what it is. But not much bigger than now that she has gotten the strength of the Black Panther, she goes out her way to wear the suit that was worn by Killmonger, the gold and black emerald of the Black Panther suit. As you know, we're gonna fast forward because we know we get into the fighting part. She talks to Ibaka, I think that's his name, and he tells him what to do, tell him what to do, that what she's gonna do, and he's gonna help her, etc., to take out Namor. And like Ibaka, he doesn't want her to go that dark path, but like most women or any person that seeks revenge, they're gonna go there. They're gonna take that dark path. They don't go say. They're gonna execute. They're going, delete. They're gonna kill. That's in her heart. That's her desire, and she's going to carry forth. Fast forward. We're gonna fast forward this. She battles Namor, an intense battle. No one didn't know that she knows how to fight. Now, mind you, in the comic books and in the anime series that came out in 2009, Shuri knows how to fight. Now, I'm not sure when most people say she don't know how to fight. Unless the comic book said otherwise she doesn't know how to fight. I'm going to say that she does. And not only she does, but she does stand one on one with Namor with the help of her intellect, because one of the few things she does, she doesn't go out and assault with Namor. First, she weakens Namor by using what is his strength and weakness. One of the things is that he breathes air through his skin and is able to absorb water, etc. I forgot what it's called, but this is an unusual mutant that not only could live underwater but could also live in the air, but needs water eventually. So she weakens Namor first, then eventually goes one-on-one physically with Namor and fights him until he has deplete all the water out of his body. So that way, as the fight slowly concludes and she says Wakanda forever and burns his body, she was able to defeat Namor and put herself in position to end and give the final, and I mean final blow to her. And as she raises that spear and about to strike his skull or his throat, all the flashbacks, all the pain, all the sorrows, the deep revenge, all the images are flashing in her eyes, in her subconscious mind, alongside Namor. And as the blow is about to strike, she looks dead at her opponent's body and tells her, "Do you yield?" And Namor, in reply, says, "Yes, I do yield." And I think the reason why Namor yields, because he too knows that this battle that he lost, nothing is going to come out of it if he loses life. There's only going to be greater wars, bigger wars between Wakanda and Takama or Talakama. So, like any general, any king, he always got to think ahead of the kingdom and the long terms of the decision of his decisions. So the fight ends. They call troops. Everybody lowers their weapons, and they make peace. Fast forward, as you know, Riri and Shuri had their last words. They were able to fix back Riri's father's Dodge car in good shape, and unfortunately they gotta keep the Ironheart suit. But no worries, 2023 Ironheart is gonna have its own suit, and it's gonna probably be more better than ever. Talikan, thank you. So if people think that she can't recreate the Ironheart suit, you are delusional. Because she made one out of scraps. So the knowledge she got now to make this one, she can make pretty much the same or better. But like I said, you gotta stay tuned and find out on Ironheart, the TV series itself, in 2023. So now that Shuri has brought peace to Wakanda, she doesn't take the throne as queen. She goes on her own journey to really make amends and really, in my opinion, able to deal with the loss of not only her mother but her brother now properly in right respect, and was able to burn the white garments that hold any memory of her loved ones. And as the movie winds down and ends, here's a little end cap. Nakia has T'Challa's son, and her son is named Toussaint, the famous general of Haiti, one of the generals. And it's ironic that Ryan Coogler used Toussaint as the name of T'Challa's son. You think he would use like Javad Dessalines or Dessalines the Killer, but you can't use Dessalines because Dessalines was more of the hardcore general that he kills people more than Toussaint. But that's not a story. And it's ironic that what's his name? That Ryan Coogler used Haiti as a ground as one of the areas to have Nakia live in, even to the point she has T'Challa's son. And I think the reason why they use Haiti because Haiti was the only island or nation that was able to fight and defeat the West the way they did. So it makes sense. Everything ties into this black movie. Pretty good movie. And as you know, well, a lot of black males, they were hoping that they were going to recast this instead of moving forward with it. But as I look at how the comic books are set as it was eventually going to wind down that they're going to have a woman be the queen of Wakanda anyway. It's because of unfortunate events, it happened a little more sooner. So that's why I don't see them recasting another Black Panther at this time, as I see it. One thing is evident, people. Wakanda will return. Now, how it will return, we don't know. You just gotta stay tuned. Now, for the winding down part, and I'm probably gonna drop the link with those that have their own opinions, their views, opinions of the movie. One other thing I do want to say: New World Order. What this has to do with the New World Order? Now, I said earlier about the New World Order we have, or we see the world today. We're amongst it now. It is here now. It's been here for decades now. So people that talks about or runs this stupid mouth about it, they a couple decades, a couple dollar, a couple cent short. We are here, and it's only continuing of globalization and colonization, which leads to Captain America Civil War. Yes. Civil War is going to tie into even more of a greater colonization. That what you see that Wakanda's having right now, you have not seen nothing until you view Captain America New World Order. That's going to even tie into more of the colonization, which will also segment the Thunderbolts, an elite team that's going to go and do the bidding under a shadow organization or government, what do you want to call it, to go out and do the bidding of the West to colonize stronger nations like Wakanda. And that's something that we don't really think about or know about. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It does deal with I see in the studio. Give me a second. It does lead to that, but it's much greater than that. And we all know there's no black and brown correlation. We're not even seeing here in the West America, as you know this. We're not seeing that now, and I doubt we're going to see ever personally. So, New World Order of that's segment to not only live in it right now, but also the movies are going to depict it more with the assistance of Captain America New World Order, which leads to a bigger plot of even more deeper colonization of not only Wakanda but other nations like Takama or Talakem. So when I say welcome to New World Order, you already here, and the movies are depicting more of it. It is shaping you of how it's supposed to be done, how it really is, how it really works, how colonization really works, for not only throughout the cinemas, but in real life. So now, as I open the floor for people to come in, give their thoughts and opinions, first person up, the real Aaron Collins. What's good, Aaron? As I wait till he has mic up. Aaron, you there? Kimmy? Okay. And like I said, the call link is open now for those that's still watching. Come up. Like to hear from y'all. And really, truly, this is a really good title. And I hope that I have add on so it gives you more of an understanding and to break out of the nonsense of what they always been telling you. If they're telling you that there's a new NWO, we already here already. If they gotta mention it or broadcast it, we already here. I remember when the movie, what do they call it, Conspiracy Theories, that came out in 95 or something. They talked about early parts of this in the film and the scenes. But we're here already.
Hey, Chaos. How you doing? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we was telling you had to let me in. But so yeah, I saw the movie. It was very well done. The storyline was basically parallel to real life events that we have going on. And this film right here is actually even, not only is it deeper, but it's actually a little bit even darker, because we saw a side of Shuri that you really didn't get to see too much. I mean, Shuri was pretty much literally forced to grow up right before our eyes. I mean, she lost her brother. Well, first she lost her father, then she lost her brother, and now her mom, who is Queen Ramonda, by the way.
Queen
And when she lost her mom, it was basically the point where she could have just snapped. I mean, we actually heard her say that she wants to burn the whole world with everyone in it. And that's something that's very uncharacteristic of Shuri. But after seeing so much death around her, particularly in her own family, it's like that's enough to literally make anyone just be like, man, screw it. I don't care. It's like, I'm ready to just go in on everybody. So Shuri literally became a woman. I mean, she always was a woman, but she was more little girl-like in the first film. But in this film, we get to see an evolution of Shuri. And then to see her fighting Namor like that was, I'm like, yeah, this is Shuri growing up. I mean, and and even with Okoye, I see why Ramonda actually fired Okoye. I mean, I didn't want to see Okoye get put out of the Dora Milaje. I mean, I really liked Okoye, but at the same time, I understand how Ramonda felt, and I think Okoye got it too. It's just like, you had one mission and you failed, and then she really wasn't even supposed to take Shuri with her. So she accepted her punishment with like a real G. I mean, she did. But as far as Shuri, because I think mainly we were talking about Shuri, it really centered around her. So I think another reason why she left Haiti, left to go to Haiti, not only does Haiti represent the freedom, but Haiti also was where she could really go and get away from the pressures of Wakanda. It's like, even when she told her nephew that T'Challa had her and Nakia leave because he didn't want him to be around the pressures of ruling the throne. I mean, T'Challa really wasn't really ready to rule himself, but he took on the mantle anyway and did it quite well.
Yes.
So he really didn't want to subject his own son to that. And I think I think they're setting up for Panther 3. I think this will be the first time where we get to see the Black Panther actually separated from whoever the sitting monarch of Wakanda is. They get to be two different entities now. At first, we know them as both the same person, both Black Panther and the ruler. But now we get to see them two separately, whether it's M'Baku or whoever. You get to see them separate.
Another side note, M'Baku is running Wakanda for now, as you know, as it winds down, because she is going for her own spiritual journey. Because to be queen at this point, and much of the fire, the vengeance, the emotions, Shuri at this point, and she knows this is really not fit right now, spiritually, to run Wakanda. That's why she made M'Baku do what he does, because he is more suitable.
Yeah.
To concede the affairs of Wakanda for now, and it's going to segment when Black Panther 3 starts to roll out. After, and I think it's going to probably roll out after the maybe close to Avengers, next Avengers installment, possibly. I could be wrong, but it's going to tie in to more of a deeper rabbit hole to where they will take the Black Panther now. As you can tell now, is already and mind you, and I didn't say this, they did had one lesbian interaction, the kiss scene.
I caught that. I caught that.
And Pew Forgot said that was something that they was gonna put in the very first movie, but Ryan Coogler was able to don't have that nonsense there. He was not gonna avoid it in this film.
There's Io and Nakia. Io and Aneta. I think that was Okoye's first lieutenant, and Aneta.
Yeah. He was they were not going to avoid it because it's in the comic books. So I want people to understand how you see how they shape things in reality. They put through images through the magazines, the comic books 1st, then it comes forth in reality through cinematography, like anything
I
else.
want to add something too that you mentioned about Shuri's spiritual evolution. I noticed I wanted to mention that if you notice how when the kid asked her what did she see on the ancestral plane, she didn't see that she saw in Jadaka, aka Killmonger.
Yeah.
She didn't mention that because, and that really took us all by surprise, actually, because you wouldn't expect to see him there. But I think basically what he was talking to was her dark subconscious. Because see, Shuri, she's still not right mentally, and then who would be right after seeing pretty much all your family being decimated?
Yeah.
But she's still not all together in her right state, and that's why she didn't. And when Injadaku was talking to her, he was actually hitting on some notes. He was making some sense, basically saying, pretty much tell her, you know, it don't matter, kill them all. Now, and what did she say earlier? She said she wanted to burn the whole world with everyone in it.
Yes.
But then her mom though said, "This is not who we are. Show them who you really are." And so basically, this is really deals with dualities. Matter of fact, I wanted to even mention what I picked up on. If you look at the poster art for Wakanda Forever, what I picked up on it is if you notice how the Wakandans are on one side and the Talakans on the other side with the exact same pose.
Yeah.
Basically, what it's saying, these two societies are basically mirror images of each other. One is on land and one is underwater. But they're basically the same, but they're different, but they're still the same.
Yeah. I think with the surface dwellers have more of an edge than the water dwellers, because the water dwellers, they only stay under sea because it's much safer, because the surface dwellers can't go underwater without machines and stuff. And that's where they have the advantage, even to the point when the final battle, which like anything like Art of War, which usually you think somebody that's a man that would know better, but it's a woman that carried forth this war on the Talakamian, that you do not go fight where the enemy is strong, which is the sea. The last place you want to find them is in the area where they're the strongest, which they did. So when they were able to capture Namor, it was already doomed and failed from the start, because you're in the water. Now, if you're on the sea, you have more advantage, because like any sea dwellers, these people only thrive when they're underwater. If they get you underwater, that's where they got the greatest advantage. That's what you look at when they attack Wakanda the way they did, is they didn't go and damage the city than they should without the assistance of Namor. Because Namor has the more capability to do what he does. But all the other people that's underwater, they only go as far. You get me?
Well, Namor was the only hybrid too. He was only mutant. I mean, everyone else pretty much they could get out. They could come out of water too. But Namor was the only one I think that was actually half human.
Yeah.
And not to mention, he was literally living out both of his names. Like Kukulkan, which is Aztec, literally means winged serpent god, and he had wings on his feet. And Namor means child of hate. And seeing what happened to his land and how his mom died, I mean, think about it. The Spaniards, well, they were quite literally the colonizers of Mexico. So they were still white men as well. And so that's another thing that Ryan Coogler even tackled. He focused more on too, that how it's basically a parallel to the world, into our own world, how European societies have always wanted to plunder and plot other nations and take their land and resources. Well, that's basically what they're trying to do with vibranium. They're trying to take vibranium and weaponize it.
And it's funny, you mentioned that they want to weaponize it, right? That they know the capabilities and the possibilities of vibranium. And one of the few things about it is that rare metal has the capability of combating any nation to give
Yep.
more power to the West, especially America. That's why they
Exactly.
sent forth those people to find vibranium since they know it exists. And also, I forgot about the agent, the one agent that was saved by Wakanda, right? It was their eyes and ears to to give intel to Wakanda, right? To know what's going on, so they get a heads up. Eventually, his identity and his betrayal and his
Oh, you talking about
treason,
Ross?
yeah, what was going to really come out forth eventually anyway.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, for someone that's trying to colonize a nation, right?
Yeah.
Um, you can't afford any spies that's giving intel to the opposition that you're trying to overthrow and take over. You know?
Right. Well,
Yes.
Ross was actually a friend of Wakanda, and true enough, he remembers how they saved his life. I think it was pretty comical how Okoye told him, a colonizer in chains. That part was actually funny. But
Mm-hmm.
he still, but she still realized and remembered, well, he's a colonizer, but he's also a friend, and so he was trying to give them a heads up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at our own history, anytime where black organizations or revolutionary armies have had white sympathizers, they
Mm-hmm.
punish the whites. I mean, I'm talking about the other whites punish them basically for associating with the blacks.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. Yeah,
And
it makes
his ex-wife Contessa, she basically pulled a COINTELPRO tactic, and she already knew that she had the Kamoyo beads bugged, so she was listening the whole time.
yeah. Which really was brilliant in my opinion. I could see why she did that because let's be honest, she is one of the head lieutenants that's creating another covert operation, and there's no way she could succeed in regards to creation of the Thunderbolts. This is going to really come in theaters in 2023. That she needs to know as much information possible and know
Mm-hmm.
that there's no opposition that is going to conflict the possibilities of takeover of Wakanda. You know, so
Right.
like always, and let's be honest, Ross should know that if you're the one that was saved by these people, you think the last thing you should be concerned that someone's going to be in the inside going to know, make sure you're not a traitor. Because if these people are trying to attempt to take over Wakanda and they know they were always that Wakanda's one leg ahead of their you know their attacks, they're gonna put a rogue, an agent under you to try and make sure you're not the one that's spilling intel. In my opinion, I
What?
could be wrong, but that's what happened. That's how I looked at it.
Well, what better person to trip him up other than his own ex-wife? That that
Hey,
that was the perfect setup for him.
I tell you, man, these people don't play, man. They don't play, Aaron. They do not
Hmm.
play at all, man.
I mean, she played him hook, line, and sinker. I'm like, damn, I gotta admit, I didn't even see that one coming.
Mm. I didn't really see it coming either, but when I think about that, they're very much dedicated to get that rare metal vibranium. They will do
Yep.
anything at all costs, including they will find the traitors to really get at them. And Ross was unfortunately he was not really thinking ahead personally.
Yeah, and you
And
know what? It's
yeah,
gonna all come down to it anyway because the more threatened Ramonda and told her, you better not tell no one that it was us who attacked that boat.
mm-hmm,
So basically, we're gonna leave the Wakandans to take the fall for something they didn't even do.
mm-hmm, exactly, exactly. Yeah, man. So yeah, like I said, it's a very good movie. Well, layout movie. Like I said, it's unfortunate. Chadwick died, unfortunately, because I think eventually they were going to have a woman be ruling Wakanda anyway. Even the death scene, I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that was scripted in advance before they know that he might have died. You know, who
Yeah.
knows? But overall, you know, the movie is what it is. And like I said, for a lot of men, you gotta get out your feelings when you watch these movies. You know,
Oh, I
I
loved it.
took
I mean, it was very well done. And yeah, you're right. I mean, you say a lot of men.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I had to get out my feelings out of anything that I watch anyway. And I know the importance of the more deeper message in a lot of these films. And it did its thing.
Yeah.
It is thing.
Yeah. Matter
But
of
you
fact,
know,
check this out, Chaos.
mhm.
No, this screen that you're sharing, right?
Yeah.
Look at if you notice how they have Shuri, right? She's in
Hmm.
a dark background with part of her face dark. This
I
pretty
know.
much confirmed what I was saying. It's showing that other side to Shuri. It's showing that other side that we all have. Basically, like I said, this movie speaks in dualities. It speaks in it speaks like in two in forms of double.
Hmm.
Even like I was saying with the poster art,
Hmm.
everything is a mirror image of itself.
Yeah. Man. I hope y'all guys like the thumbnail. I had to create like this, man. Look at this. Look at that. Work of
Yeah,
art.
yeah, that's a good thumbnail you did there.
Yeah, man. It's a work of art, man. I do say so myself, you know.
It's got
But
T'Challa and with the light background because we know in the first film T'Challa
mhm.
he was a good leader, true enough, but T'Challa was kind of naive though. He thought everything was just so everything is just so hunky dory and great. But that, not to realize though he was actually the product of living a lie that was set by his father and Zuri from the first film. Remember?
Yeah, of course.
Because when he killed his uncle and left his nephew behind, that set off a whole chain reaction. So, like he said to his father in the first film, that Killmonger was a monster of our own creation. So he was literally their Frankenstein.
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, and then Shuri came in once again confirmed it when she was speaking to him on the ancestral plane that you started this.
Hmm. Yeah. And not only she started this, but really truly it segments that when you deal with some people, especially with the women, how women deal with things, they will go as far as why, even to point as plot someone's
Yep.
revenge. And really it segments to another story that I find out, which we're not gonna talk about now, so don't mention names, of a one woman that lost her life outside America to a couple female friends.
Right, right.
So,
I
so,
know who
so,
you
so
talking about.
so like I said, women will go far depths in hell for
Mhm.
spite, revenge, etc. Keep that
Well,
in
the
mind, black women.
but the Bible even says that hell has no fury like a woman scorned,
Oh yeah.
and I believe that because people like men, we have the strength, and we have the bulk, and we have that, but it's just something about the fire of a woman that people underestimate. Like for example, I say this all the time that I
Hmm.
think a woman could be really the most deadlier of the two of us, and I tell you why. Say if you went to a
Hmm.
club, right, and you know how they
Yeah.
checking all the they just look in the woman's purse. That still
Hmm.
can't stop her from bringing nothing in there. She could come up in
Yeah.
there and clear out the whole club in a matter of seconds. She could go into the
Hmm.
bathroom and have a dude waiting in there, pass him something, go up in there. She could probably walk up out of the club like nothing happened, and he handled up. I mean, you gotta realize something. This is a person who basically by design can carry something the size of a watermelon in their body for 9 months and then shit it out and it becomes a full grown human being.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're right about that. Right about that. Yeah. I agree. I agree. All right, Aaron. Any other comments? Gonna wrap this up.
Oh man, I enjoyed the conversation, Chaos. I think this is really the first time I've actually been on your panel. Is it?
No, you've been here for a few times. Not much, you know.
Oh, okay.
And like always, people, those that watch, please contribute to the channel. You can donate something, throw something in the bucket. All right. Till next time, Aaron. We'll talk again soon. All right, brother.
All right now.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. This will conclude today's stream. I hope this was useful, helpful to you. Chaos Reigns, more deeper insight of Wakanda Forever. And like always, Wakanda Forever, welcome to the New World Order. I'm hope that you not only go back to the playback of this stream, but please leave a comment on your thoughts and opinions. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Or let's go further. What's your more overall view about the deeper message out of Wakanda Forever? I'll be looking forward to hearing from you in the comment sections of the Chaos Reign channel. And like always, please follow me at Twitter at Chaos Reign 7. Also, add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. And I put the Discord link in the chat room, and it's also in the About section on the Chaos Reign channel. If you have trouble joining Discord, please leave a comment at the end of this video as well, if you do catch this replay. And always, because likes are free, why are you hesitating? Like the stream, hit the like button. Watch it for 5-10 minutes and hit like, or watch the whole stream. Either or, it always helpful to know that you're watching and liking the stream, so it's good to the algorithm. It lets things be put out in the atmosphere, in the ethers. So like always, I'll be looking forward to hopefully for the comment section of this. But like always, thank you for watching today's stream. And till next time, Chaos Reign.